and welcome to Perpetual Fitness Training. I'm Holly. Thank you for joining me today. I have a yoga session for you. I found myself with a little time. My kids are asleep, my husband's at work, and so I thought, perfect time to sit down and get a little yoga in, so why not tape it at the same time? Today we're working on Warrior 3. Warrior 3 is a great pose. It not only works on that coordination and that balance, it also tones the entire backside of the body, shoulders, back, glutes, hamstrings, calves, ankles, all of that. Plus, because it's a balance pose, we're going to work to strengthen all the joints as well, at least in that lower body. So all you really need today is a mat, a block potentially, or something that you can place your hands on the floor. Maybe a strap, probably not, but if you have one, might as well have it nearby, especially if you're feeling a little tight today. And just some quiet music, maybe a little water, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's see if we can get this done before my teenagers wake up, which, you know, it's before noon on a weekend, so they're probably not. If you have teenagers, you get it. But sometimes they surprise me and they wake up early. So let's go ahead and start at the very front of the mat. You want those feet hip width apart. You have a slight bend to the knees. Tuck that tailbone belly tight. Lift your heart. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. I want space between your chin and chest. Think of like an apple or an orange, grapefruit, something underneath that chin, just to give you a little buoyancy in that chin and making that upper spine nice and straight. Palms face forward, or they can face the body. Big inhale, and then exhale audibly. And drop those shoulders. Let's do that again. Big inhale. Big audible exhale. All right, closing those eyes. Let's focus on that breath. Inhaling through the nose. Really pull the air in deep into the lungs. Slowly exhale everything out. Big inhale. Again, exhale, slowly releasing the breath. Inhale, see if you can fill the belly up. And this time as you exhale, I want you to relax the tension. You're feeling it release from the neck, the shoulders, the spine, the glutes. Just feel it leave the body. Again, big inhale to the belly. And then exhale, release everything out. Give me a couple more deep breaths. One more time. On this exhale, think about relaxing the muscles through the face, releasing any expression, relaxing the jaw, the tongue. All right, opening those eyes. Take a nice big inhale. Arms come all the way up. I want you to reach those arms out to the side and take a nice slow forward fold. Swan dive, into forward fold. The crown of the head then comes down, so you're looking at those knees instead of looking at your feet. Relax through the neck, feeling that stretch. Now I want those legs to be straight, not locked, but straight. If you're double jointed, be aware that when you straighten the legs, you tend to be locked out and pressing the knees backward. So really be aware of that and make sure you have a slight bend to the knees. I want those hands to be anchored. So if you need to, you're going to take your hands to a block, the body, or the floor. So I'd rather you use a block instead of bending the knees, because it's not about touching the floor. It's about getting that stretch in those legs. And if you're bending the knees, you're taking the hamstrings out of the stretch. So keep those legs nice and straight. Let's take a big step back with the right leg. Big step. We're going to just let those hips drop down toward the floor. Shoulders relaxed, tummy tight. You can bring that belly to the inside. We're just going to hold it here. Let's go ahead and lift those hips up. Big inhale. As you exhale, I want you to press the hip down. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, or dropping the hips, and just hold here. If you'd like, you can take both hands to the inside. That'll allow you to kind of drop that hip a little bit more. Remember, block if you need it. All right, let's go ahead and take that right knee down. We're going to drag this left foot back. That's moving us into tabletop. Making sure the knees are under the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Nice wide finger. Curl those toes, hips up. Downward dog. All right, you're probably going to be tight here. So bend the knees, maybe just press the chest in. Maybe then just walk those heels out, trying to loosen up through the calves. And then come on down to those knees. I want you to keep your toes curled and just push those hips back. So we're stretching in through the toes. The toes do a lot of work throughout the day, and rarely do we stretch them. So it's important to get that stretch in. Coming back to the center, tummy tight, lift those hips up again. Downward dog. Same thing, if you're tight, just walking the heels, pressing the chest in, or you can come into a good solid downward dog if you're feeling ready. And down onto those knees. Top of the feet to the mat. We're going to lift those knees up, and you're just coming until you feel the stretch through the top of the foot, maybe into the shin. So wherever that happens for you, it's all the way up here for me today. Listen to your body. And let's go ahead and plant those knees. We're going to sit back in child's pose. So glutes to the heels. If you have any tightness through the knees, the block can help with that. You can either place it between the calf and thighs, or maybe down by the feet. If it's not too tight through the knees, drop the chest toward the floor, reach those fingers out, and then relax the shoulders down. If you struggle to relax the shoulders, hands come back to the arches of the feet. Now let's go ahead and inhale and come on up. We're going to move into tabletop. We're taking that right foot forward again, extending that left back. Let the hips drop, shoulders relax, tummies tight. So you're in a runner's lunge position, pressing back through that left heel. Keeping that tummy tight again. Both hands can come to the inside. You can be on the block. You can also be up here on your thigh. And let's go ahead and push off with that back foot and move into a forward fold. Legs are straight, crown drops, tummy's tight, heavy in that upper body. Big exhale. Just feeling the stress release. One more big inhale. On the exhale, bend the knees around and slowly come up. If you have any low back issues or it bothers your low back, hands to your thighs every time you come up. At the top, roll the shoulders up, back and down. Big inhale, reaching those arms up. And then arms out to the side, nice flat back again. Nice and slow, swan dive. Moving into forward fold. All right, maybe this time you can get rid of the block. Maybe those hands still need to be on the body. Maybe you can get those legs just a little bit straighter than you could last time. Crown of the head, of course, down. So you're looking at your knees and thighs. You can even shake your head out, releasing through that neck. Big step back with the left this time. Let those hips drop, shoulders relax. Maybe taking that tummy to the inside, shoulders down. Hold for just a moment. And then let's go ahead and inhale and lift and round. Exhale, lower, coming down, press through that left heel. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, and hold right here. Maybe both hands to the inside, maybe not. Maybe you're still up on that thigh, that's fine. As long as you're feeling the stretch, you are doing good work. Let's go ahead and drop that left knee. Drag this right leg back, finding our way back into tabletop. Knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Curl those toes, hips up, downward dog. Now I want you to think about taking the shoulder blades away from the ears and pressing those heels toward the floor. Maybe even taking that tailbone and pointing it up at the ceiling. That's just a little pelvic tilt. Breathe, pressing through the palms of the hands, never the fingertips, and you're trying to make your body into a triangle. So the apex is that tailbone, and you're trying to make those sides as straight as you can. So you can see if I move forward here, that is less of a triangle than if I'm pressing my chest towards those thighs, getting a better triangle, nice flat sides. Now let's go ahead and take it on to the knees. We're going to take that left foot forward, and we're going to come back into runner's lunge. Let those hips drop. Belly's tight, maybe both hands to the inside, letting the hips fall. And let's go ahead and push off with that back foot and come on up into forward fold. Holding here, crown of the head drops. Abs are in, heavy in that upper body. Focus on the breathing. Bend your knees, belly tight, pressing through feet, slowly rolling up. At the top, shoulder roll. I can hear my kids out there. They woke up. Hopefully we'll be able to edit all the noise they're making. Nice big inhale. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. I want you to come up halfway, flat back looking forward. So your hands can be on the floor or on your shins, as long as you're getting that nice flat back and you're able to look forward. Exhale all the way down, forward fold. Big step back, right leg, runner's lunge. Let those hips drop down, shoulders relaxed, belly is tight. Now we're going to move back into a plank. I'm going to start with a modified plank, so I'm going to drop my right knee and drag this left foot back. If you'd like to, you can stay in full plank. Tummy's tight, big inhale, wrists and shoulders lined up. As you exhale, the elbows graze the ribs and you come down, and you can either hover off the floor or you can take it all the way down. Inhale, lift your heart. Up dog or cobra, shoulders down, belly tight. Squeeze your glutes. Top of the feet to the mat. And let's go ahead and take it back, moving into downward dog. So you can go straight from plank into downward dog, or you can come up into tabletop. Feet together, let's reach that right leg back. You can stay right here, both hip bones pointing to the floor, letting that left heel fall, or you can open up the hips, stretch that leg toward the ceiling, press your chest and shoulder blades away. Keeping that tummy nice and tight. And let's go ahead and take this right foot in between those hands, moving into runner's lunge. So either all the way up or down to the knees. Right foot forward, left foot extends back. You're going to take that foot and you're going to turn it on its side, lining up the heel and the arch. They're standing on the same line, hands back, belly tight. I want you to lift your heart first and then follow up with the arms. Shoulder blades down. I want you to pull back on that right hip, push that left hip forward, sink into that front knee. Lift your heart. You're leaning back slightly, keeping that tummy nice and tight. I want you to breathe into the belly. One more time. Exhale, hands into prayer. Take it all the way down. Pushing off, forward fold. Letting the crown drop. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Nice flat back, reaching. You can also roll up with your hands to your thighs instead. Exhale to your heart, whatever feels good. Inhale up, reaching out, swan dive, forward fold. Coming up halfway, flat back, looking forward. Exhale all the way down. We're going to step back with that left, letting the hips drop. Hold, belly's tight. Let's go ahead and take that knee down, dragging that foot back, finding modified plank or full plank. Big inhale, exhale, slowly come down. Inhale, lift that heart, squeeze those glutes, shoulders down. And take it back, moving into downward dog. Shoulder blades away, belly's tight. Feet together, let's go ahead and take that left foot back. Staying here, open up the hips, straight leg toward the ceiling. Shoulder blades away. Separate those toes. It's hard to get mad about them making noise because I can hear they're doing the dishes. And let's go ahead and take this left foot forward. Hopefully we can edit all of that noise out because I don't think you're going to appreciate that. Let's go ahead and extend that back leg. Take that foot onto its side, laying up the heel and arch, hands back, belly tight. Lift your heart and then your arms. Sink, shoulder blades down and together. Pull back on this left hip, press this right hip forward, reaching for the ceiling. Hands to your heart in prayer. Coming down. Pushing off, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to your heart. All right, you can stay with that or add on with me. Inhale up, reaching out, swan dive. Coming up halfway, flat back, looking forward. Exhale all the way down. Back with the right. Really reach back. Let those hips drop. Belly's tight. Coming back into plank, full or modified. Inhale. Exhale, elbows tight. Hover or all the way down. Inhale, up dog or cobra, shoulders down, belly's tight. And let's go ahead and curl those toes, hips up. Downward dog. Shoulder blades away from the ears. Feet together, reaching back with that right. Stay here, open up. You can stay here or take your heel to your go. Point that knee up at the ceiling, still pressing your chest in and letting that left heel fall. Let's go ahead and take this right foot in between those hands, either all the way through or to the knees first. Back foot turns, sinking the hips, hands back. Lift your heart and then your arms. Take those shoulder blades down. Space between your chin and chest. Squeeze those blades, sink and hold. Now we're going to take those hands into prayer. We're going to bring our chest to the thigh and we're going to reach those arms back. So we're moving into airplane. That belly is nice and tight. We're just preparing our bodies for warrior three. Take those shoulders, press them away, reach those fingertips back. And then let's go ahead and release that. Hands down, rotate that back left toe. Push off, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, up reach. Reaching out, swan dive. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale all the way down. Stepping back with that left. Let those hips drop. Tummy's tight. Hold. Press through that left heel. And come on back into your plank. Inhale. Exhale. Come on down. Elbows tight. Hover if you can. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Shoulders relax. On your next exhale, hips up. Downward dog, press those heels down. Shoulder blades away. Give me a good downward dog. Feet together, left reaches back. Open up the hip. Stay here or heel in. From here, you just point that knee up until you feel the rib cage and you hold. Still pressing your chest in and letting that right heel fall. Let's go ahead and sweep that left foot forward. However you can get it there. Back foot turns, lining up, heel and arch, hands back. Heart, arms, shoulders down, sink, pull back on this left hip, press that right hip forward. Reach those arms up, space between your chin and chest. More important that you have those hips pointing forward than this foot being parallel to the back of your mat. It's more important to have those hips forward, so adjust that foot if you need to. Bring the chest down, hands into prayer. And then you're just going to reach those arms back. Shoulder blades drive down. Sink through those hips. Breathe through it. And then go ahead and release those arms. Rotate on that back foot. Push off. Forward fold. Abs in. Crown drops. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to your heart. All right, we have one more time on each side. Stay with me. Inhale up, reach. Reaching out. I will add on. You can stay with that second level if you like. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down. Stepping back right. Letting the hips drop. Coming back into plank. Big inhale. If you'd like to, maybe one foot up, right foot. Big inhale. As you exhale, you bring the elbows tight. Hover if you can. Inhale, up dog or cobra, shoulders down. Let those hips fall. If it bothers your wrists, you can come onto the fists. And when you're ready, take it back. Downward dog. Even in downward dog, you can be on those fists. Feet together, reaching back right. Open, heel in. Little twist. So you're dropping the right foot toward the left side, feeling the stretch more intense through the rib cage. Shoulder blades away from the ears. Left heel trying to find the mat. Don't be up on your toes. Let it fall. And let's go ahead and sweep this right leg forward. Left foot comes back onto its side. Hands back. Heart, arms. Sink. Give me a good warrior one. Pull back on your right. Press that left hip forward. Low as you can be. Hands come into prayer. Bring that chest down. Reach those arms back, driving the shoulders away. Next up, we're going to take the hands to the floor. Now, if you can't touch the floor, this is block time, okay? Rotate on that back toe. So really now we're in a runner's lunge. Push off and bring that left leg up. So both hip bones are pointed to the floor. Don't allow that left one to roll open. Both hip bones pointed to the floor. You have a straight right leg with a tiny bend in it. You're squeezing that left glute to help buoy up this leg. You want the leg parallel to your mat. Breathe through it, keeping that tummy tight, those shoulders nice and relaxed. And then we're going to come back down into that runner's lunge. Let the hips drop, push off, come on up, forward fold. Exhale, release the tension. Big inhale. Exhale, swan dive, come on up. Tucking that tailbone just slightly, exhale to your heart. All right, let's move to the other side, last side, big inhale, reach. Reaching out, swan dive. Coming up halfway. Exhale all the way down. Stepping back left, let the hips drop, shoulders relax. Coming back into plank. Maybe you have that left leg up this time. Big inhale. Exhale, come on down, hover. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale back, downward dog. Shoulder blades away. Feet together, reaching back left. Open, heel in, knee points up, or continue to drop that foot to the right, getting more intense through the rib cage. Breathe into the belly. Left foot between those hands. Belly is tight, sink low. Turn that foot on its side. We're coming to warrior one. Hands back. Lift the heart and then the arms. Let's check those hips. Are you pulling back on the left hip and pressing that right hip forward? Or are you sinking as low as you can, leaning back into that leg slightly, reaching those arms up, space between your chin and chest, shoulder blades down, and pulled together for a nice proud chest. Hands to your heart. Chest to your thigh. Hands reach back, airplane. Relax those shoulders. All right, hands to the floor or to the block. Rotate on that back toe. We're going to push off. And you're going to take that right leg parallel to the floor by squeezing that right glute. That left leg straightens up as much as you can. Hands are to the floor in front or again to that block. Try to keep those shoulders relaxed. Breathe. Focus on the warming through this leg we're doing. We're prepping it for that full warrior three position. Let's go ahead and take this right foot back on your toes, hips drop. And now we're going to press off and come on up into forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to your heart in prayer. And go ahead and release those hands. If you'd like to, you can grab a quick drink of water. I forgot mine, so I'm just going to have to suffer. Hopefully my voice won't crack too much. All right, when you're ready, we are going to come back up to the front of our mat. So we're going to come back into that mountain position. Feet are hip width, tiny bend to the knee, just to let the blood flow. Tucking that tailbone under, keeping that tummy tight. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders, palms forward, space between your chin and chest. I want you to close your eyes and focus on that breathing. Because more than likely, those sun salutations brought that heart rate up, and that's what it's meant to do, right? In order to get that body warm, you need to increase that heart rate. Well, now that the body's warm, we want to relax the body. So to do that, we need to slow the heart rate down, slow that breathing. So nice big inhales. If you need to, it's a little pause, and then you slowly exhale. Bring your mind to your breath. Just focusing on the breath. You're feeling that air travel in through the nose all the way to the bottom of the lung. And you're feeling all of the air get pushed out, using that diaphragm, using that belly, feeling that heart rate slow. As that heart rate slows, you feel the stress leaving the shoulders, relaxing the muscles through the face, bringing your focus back to your body. And now you're gonna open those eyes, and I'm gonna turn toward you just so you can see me, but I want you to stay where you are. From here, we're gonna inhale, take those arms up. We're going to cross the hands at the wrist, and then you're going to turn those hands to try to face each other. If you're really tight, you may not be able to get those palms together, and that's fine. Just try to bring those palms together best you can. Once you're in this position, you're going to feel that it's a little tight through the shoulders. That's okay, that's what we're stretching. So instead of having those arms here, if you can, you're gonna bring those arms back. So you're trying to get them to kind of come slightly behind the head instead of in front. But if this is all you can do, I want you to work from right here. If you're feeling that stretch through the shoulders, then you're doing some good work. So do what you can. From this position, with those shoulders down and that tummy tight, we're gonna move to the right. And as you do that, try not to collapse through the arms. That will be your tendency if you're tight. I want you to press through the palms, press through the pinkies, press through the fingers, all the tips of the fingers. Shoulders stay down as you do this, and you can turn your gaze up, or you can keep it pointed at me. Either way. Now we're gonna tummy tight and inhale up. Try not to go too far. Exhale to the other side because we are unsupported. Reaching those fingertips out, press those palms together, keep those shoulders down, and feel that just amazing stretch down your side. Gaze can be up. Breathe. Inhale, let's come back to center. Now I want you to exhale and just release it down. Maybe give it a little shake. I'm tight through my forearm, so that's always where I feel that one. All right, let's go ahead and take the weight to the right. I want you to grab that left. Now this might be where you need a strap. Knees together, tuck and press. Why are they flying on a Sunday? I'm recording this on a Sunday. The base generally is shut down, so I guess not today. Soften that right knee. Tell you, it's because I tape. As soon as I tape, all the noise starts. It can be quiet for hours and hours. And I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go tape a yoga. And then just the world explodes. It's kind of ironic how that happens every time. Release. We're gonna move to that other side. We're gonna reach down, we're gonna grab that right. Knees together, tuck and press. So the idea is that we're stretching through the quadriceps. Soften that left knee. Belly is tight, you're just lifting your heart, so it's just a traditional stretch. Now we're gonna move back to the other side. So let's go ahead and release. Taking the weight to the right, grabbing that left. All right, knees together. Now, if you can, when you tuck and press, I want you to start to pull that left back. You have that soft right knee, and you're not coming forward with the chest. Everything stays the same. You're just starting to pull that leg back. It will be a more intense quadricep stretch. Get those shoulder blades squeezed back and together, lifting that heart. Whoa. And release. And then to the other side. Now, as a note, when we move into that warrior three, if your balance you know is rough, tuck and press, then you can grab a chair or something, or maybe move near a wall. Push your hips forward as you gently reach that leg back, lifting the heart, squeezing those blades. And release. But before we do warrior three, we got to finish preparing. So let's go ahead and finish getting all those muscles nice and stretched and ready. So back to the front of your mat if you moved, coming back into mountain. Take a nice big inhale, reach those arms up. Reaching them out to the side, it's a nice flat back as you slowly come down. And when you do this, pull your belly in, let your head just drop. Press your chest toward those thighs, getting this great stretch in the back of the legs. Hands are anchored, body block or floor. All right, we're gonna move into something called gorilla, and this actually stretches the wrists as well. If you can't move into gorilla because you can't touch the floor, I don't want you to force the stretch, okay? So if that doesn't work for you, or you find gorilla is uncomfortable for you, then you can just grab those ankles and pull the chest closer to the thighs and just focus on stretching the hamstrings and don't worry so much about stretching out the wrists. If you're moving into gorilla with me, you're gonna lift that left foot and you're just going to put the hand with the palm facing the sole of your foot, and then you're going to come and bring the weight onto the toes, and the toes should reach the wrist, right at the break between the wrist and the hand, and then you're gonna go ahead and do that other side. So those toes are basically all the way up to that crease on your wrist. You're pressing through the toes and don't stay in the heels, it tends to throw your balance off.
Plus, it's a better stretch if you can press through those toes. Once you're in this position, then you start to straighten those legs. So you get an intense stretch through the legs as well as through those wrists. Let the head just drop and relax. Now, if your wrists are not tight, you may not feel this through the wrist. And that's okay. You're still getting a great stretch through those legs. Focus on that breath. One more time. All right, go ahead and release those hands. Just come into that forward fold. We are going to step back with that right foot, and we're going to come into Warrior Two. So go ahead and take Warrior Feet, which is heel in line with the arch. Sink. I'm going to readjust my feet here. I didn't quite get them far enough apart so that I can sink my hips. Now you're going to take that left hand to the inside, and remember, it can be on the thigh as well. Don't feel like you have to touch the floor or if you have a block. And then we're just going to open up and press through the feet and just cartwheel those arms up and move into our Warrior Two. You're going to press that front left knee open. You're going to sink those hips toward the floor. That tailbone is tucked under. It's not pushing back. Your shoulder blades are down and together. You're staring over that front middle finger. Breathe here. We're just opening up through that hip, through the inner thighs. If it starts to release, you just sink deeper, always getting that great stretch. And don't let that left knee pop in. Push that left knee open. It'll be a more intense stretch through that inner thigh. But that's what we're looking for here. Hold. Now we're going to move into side angle. So on side angle, the left arm, the forearm can come to the thigh, or if you have the flexibility, you can move to the floor or a block. Keeping that right shoulder open, I want you to reach up to the ceiling and let those hips drop. The number one thing I find is people let their hips float up. Press those hips toward the floor and hold here, keeping that tummy tight. Pull back on that right shoulder, gazing up if you can, if not, just look straight. Moving into triangle. So we're going to just straighten this front leg and we're going to rotate our upper body. You're going to readjust your legs if you had to. You saw I was way too far apart. My feet had started to slide. Once you're in this position, you're going to pull back on that left hip, press that right hip forward, block, or you can be on your body. Do not place your hands on that knee joint. Avoid hands on the knee joint at all times. Shoulders relaxed, tummies tight, and just press your chest toward that thigh. Keep pulling back on that left hip, almost like you're trying to drag that leg back. Pushing that right hip forward, keeping that tummy tight. You can let that head drop. You can slightly roll through the back. Just breathe. All right, so we're going to move into a closed twist. And what that entails is a bit more intensity. It can be very intense. So maybe you have a block and you take it to the pinky toe side of your foot. Maybe you just place your hands on your shin, or maybe you have that block to the inside of the foot. You can also, of course, place your hand on the floor. Left hand, left hip. I want you to drop your right shoulder, pull back on that left shoulder, and look to the left. Now, I am super tight in this position today. Through that shoulder, I can tell I just can't get that rotation, so I'm going to stay here. But if you'd like to, you're going to extend that left arm up, reaching toward the ceiling. Pull that belly in, and don't worry if you can't get past this stage right here. If you feel this really intense stretch through this leg, that's perfect. Stay there. The twisting is just to make it more intense, so keep it where it is. And now I'm going to go ahead and drop that left shoulder. I'm going to come back into runner's lunge. I'm going to push off, forward fold. And if you would like to, shake up that left leg. It gets very intense here. Should feel really good and stretched out though. All right, you should feel the back of this left leg. All right, let's go ahead and move to the other side. So we're going to step back with the left. We're going to turn into warrior feet, lining up heel and arch. We're going to take that right hand to the inside. We're going to sink those hips. We're going to take that left arm up, and then we're going to come on up into warrior two. Tailbone tuck, sinking down, pressing that right knee open. Arms are parallel to the floor in the letter T. Shoulders rolled up, back, and down. Looking over that front middle finger, we're going to hold it here.
Always lifting the heart, always dropping the shoulders, always pressing that front knee open. And then if you start to release, maybe scoot that front foot up a little bit more to sink down. One more breath. All right, moving into that side angle. So the front arm, the right arm comes to the thigh. The left arm reaches up. Maybe you can take it to the floor. Either way, dropping the hips, shoulders relaxed, tummy is tight. You can look up, you can look down, you can look to the side. Whatever's comfortable for you for today. Ooh, not reaching my arm up enough. Let's try to separate those fingers, get the arms straight up with the ceiling. And now we're gonna go ahead and rotate. So that left hand comes down. Maybe readjust your feet if you need to. And then we're gonna straighten this front leg. And when we do that, we're gonna pull back on that right hip, push that left hip forward, moving into triangle. Now from here, remember your block can be very useful here. Relax, bringing that chest closer to that leg. Let that head drop, you can shake it out. Trying not to hold any tension. I was holding some tension through my shoulder. So as you exhale, try to focus on those tension spots for you. My spot, I really tend to bring a lot of tension into my shoulders and into my jaw. So those are the places I always try to kind of check in with often to make sure I'm not accidentally holding some tension in. Pull that belly tight. All right, moving into a twist. So from here, taking that left hand, if you can, to the outside of the body or to the shin or to the arch side. Right hand, right hip. Let's drop that left hip and rotate and turn into the leg. So we're looking to that right. Then if you can, take that right arm up. Abs in. Breathe. Focus. Shoulders, jaw, face, nice and relaxed. And rotate down. And then toes, drop that left knee, drag this right leg back. And then if you need to, extend that right leg behind, give it a little release here. Coming back into tabletop, moving into cat and cow, drop your belly, looking up, big inhale. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, drop, look up. Exhale, tuck and round, really round. Release through that back. Inhale, working on that mobility. Exhale. Back to the center. All right, moving into bird dog. So this is core work right here and balance. We're going to place that left hand down. We're going to take the weight of the body kind of to the left and to that right leg. So what that means is that left leg is going to come back and we're going to try to lift it parallel to the floor. Both hip bones point to the floor, squeezing that glute, right? This is that same position we're going to use for that warrior three. Try to separate those toes and then try to bring that right arm up, also parallel to the floor. Shoulder blades are down, gaze is at the floor. Now, if you are pretty strong through that core, this is going to seem easy. So you can always take it to the side, which will challenge that balance in that core in a different way. And let's go ahead and take it down. And now we're going to switch to the other side. So now the left arm reaches out, right leg. Squeeze the glute to lift the leg, shoulder blades down, separate the toes and the fingers. Focus on the floor right by your hand, not looking up. We want to keep this neck in line, not putting any stress on the spine. Belly is nice and tight, and you're not dropping your belly right into neutral, squeezing the glutes. One more breath. And bring it down. All right, let's go ahead and sit back into child. So if you need it, your block, come all the way back. Sinking down, hands reach out, head drops. Maybe your hands are back by the arches of your feet. Focusing on that breath. Slowing that heart rate. Releasing the tension through the shoulders, jaw, face muscles. One more breath, big inhale. And exhale, go ahead and come on up back into tabletop. We're gonna curl those toes,
Come into downward dog. Oh, pressing the chest and shoulders down, heels down, legs straight, but not locked. All right, we're gonna move into our Warrior 3 series from here. So feet together. Let's go ahead and reach that right foot back. Then we're gonna take that right foot in between the hands. So again, just like in the beginning, however you can get it there, either sweep it through or come down to the knee first. We're gonna be in this runner's lunge position here, and then we're gonna go ahead and take those hands back. I want you just to hold here, finding the balance. Let's go ahead and take the hands into prayer. So our first position is into Warrior 3 with a prayer position. So we're going to transfer the weight to the front. We're going to slowly start to lift that back leg. Now maybe this is it, right? You're good here. That's awesome. Stay here, working on that balance, working on the strength. Then maybe you can start to pull that leg higher, more parallel to the floor. Both hip bones are pointing to the floor. You have a tiny bend into that right leg. Those hands are still in prayer. If you need a little bit more modification, just like we did in the beginning, hands down, that does take the balance out, but you do get the strength in that lower body. Don't be surprised if you feel this right hip. It is working hard. Now, next step, hands behind the back, interlace, chest stretch. Hands reach back. They reach back for those toes. Shoulder blades down. And then if you want to go one further, you can grab that foot behind. And I don't think I can do it today. I'm not open enough. And basically, you get both hands, see if I can do it, into this chest stretch position. And like that. I cannot do it today. I'm sorry. It is just way too tight. Woo. All right. I know you're fatiguing. Stay with me. Couple more breaths. Take those hands down and drop it. Come on down to that left knee. Take that right leg back and straight. So remember, yoga's not always about doing it perfectly. Rarely is it perfect, as a matter of fact. It's just about trying. Every time you do it, every time you try, you're getting stronger. And that's the point. You're building that mind-body connection. You're working on that neural pathway to help that balance and that coordination. That's all you need to do. So never feel like it has to be perfect or there's no point in doing it, because that is very, very wrong. All right, back into tabletop, toes curl, downward dog. Relax those shoulders, hips up. I know you can feel that right hip. All right, let's go ahead and bring that left foot forward. So take it all the way back and sweep it forward. All right, sinking down, find that spot for your legs. Hands come back, just find that balance. Then your hands come into prayer and we transfer the weight to the front left foot. Soften that left knee. Then you start to squeeze that glute to bring that right leg up. Doing this in slow motion is a lot harder for me. All right, from prayer, both hip bones point to the floor, reaching back, toes separate. Fingers can be in prayer or maybe reach back. Hold here, tummy's tight. You're pressing that chest out, squeezing those blades together. Maybe you take those hands back and interlace. Remember, chair or a wall for that balance. Maybe your hands are on the floor. Ooh, this side is just much, much, much worse. All right, breathe through it. I'm getting there. Maybe not today. All right, maybe you can bring that back foot in. Squeeze the glute, get that leg parallel. Couple more breaths. All right, hands down. Ooh. Take that foot down and then come on down to the knee. Stretch that left leg back. Ooh. And then that right. Perfect. All right, let's do a little cat and cow again, just working through that spine. Drop your belly, look up, big inhale. Exhale, tuck around. Inhale, drop. Exhale, tuck. One more time. And tuck around. All right, it really works that core, which means that is your back and your belly. Let's go ahead and come on down to our glutes. You should feel very proud of that, even if you can't get up, even if you can't take that back foot totally off the floor. Should still feel proud that you did it, you tried. Remember to use those props, so either the block on the floor or like a chair in front of you, or maybe a wall to the side or the front of you, to help with the balance until you get that strength. And then eventually you'll be able to remove the hands. All right, we're going to just do a little bit more for the spine. Some people don't like this one. This one's roll like a ball. So if you don't like this one, feel free to just come on down to the floor and bring your knees into your chest and stretch the spine and the low back that way. If you'd like to come with me, hands behind the thighs or to the shins, up nice and tall. Big inhale. As you exhale, you round and roll. And come on up and round and roll. And up. I love this one for my spine. This always feels so good. It usually always pops my spine. Oh, which relieves tension and feels better. Give me a couple more. Last one. All right, so this time when you come down, I want you to come down in control. Once you're down there, knees to the chest, squeeze it in. Oh, side to side. So this is just a little massage for that mid-back. Come on to the center, drop that low back, side to side on your low back. Feel it release. Back to the center, let's plant those feet. All right, we're gonna go into a low back stretch. You can do this with those legs together and just drop them side to side. We're gonna work a little more on an intense position. So if this one doesn't work for you, then do the one with the legs glued together. All right, so let's go ahead and cross the right over the left. Arms out into the letter T. We're gonna slowly drop those legs to the right. Now, as we do this, this left shoulder stays glued to the mat. You can look to the left. You can use blocks underneath those legs. The nice thing about the block when you use it is it allows you to release the tension that you're holding in the hips and in the low back to keep the legs off the floor, to kind of keep control. When you use the block, it allows you to release the muscles and gives you a better stretch. So if you cannot get those knees comfortably to the floor, I recommend using a block or something wedged underneath your legs. It can even be a pillow, something to allow you to release truly through that low back. I want you to breathe deeply here. You can close your eyes, breathe into that belly. Think about relaxing the muscles in the face. You're releasing the jaw. Couple more breaths. Just feel that low back release. No tension through those legs. All right, big inhale. On the exhale, your head comes center, tummy tight, and you lift those legs. If you need to, undo those legs and then lift them. That will be easier on your low back. Coming back to the center, we're going to cross the legs the other way. We're going to now drop the legs to the left, keeping that right shoulder down. If you need to, using that block underneath the legs to prop you up, taking your gaze to the right. Breathe, not allowing that right shoulder up. Just focus on that breath. Usually find one side is more flexible than another. Just let your body tell you where you need to go. Focus on relaxing the shoulders. Releasing the jaw. Head back center, tummy tight. So either undo those legs and then lift, or just lift from that position. Release the legs, bring those knees together into the chest. So grabbing right and left knee, pulling in as close as you can, letting that that tailbone release. So you're not really dropping the pelvis, but what you're doing is getting rid of any tension through that pelvis, just relaxing and letting that low back stretch. All right, let's go ahead and plant the feet. And I want you to walk those feet out. We're going to move into your Shavasana position. So again, whatever is comfortable for you, whether it's in traditional, whether it's knees bent because this makes your low back feel better. Maybe it's in reclined butterfly because this just opens up the hips and feels real good to you. Maybe you want to roll onto your side. Or maybe if you have bolsters and straps and a blanket, you can sit into a more yogi position. You'll have to do some internet research to find what works best for you in that respect. But I just like the traditional Shavasana position. So hands next to the body. They can be toward the body or palms up, but you have to be able to allow those fingers to just curl and relax, taking any stress and tension out of the hands. Relax those shoulders back and just kind of use those heels to walk that spine nice and straight. I want you to close your eyes and go back to your breath. Nice big inhales through your nose. Slow exhales through your nose, using your abs to control the exhale. Now I want you to stay in your Shavasana position as long as you can, as long as you'd like. If you need to, maybe setting a little timer for yourself. The idea is to get nice and relaxed, to let all the stress go. This is your moment, your balancing moment. We have so much stress and tension throughout the day. We need to take time to balance that out. And I just want 5 minutes of your time. You deserve that time, and your body needs that time. Deep inhale. On this exhale, I want you to think about relaxing all the muscles in the face. Relax the jaw, the tension around the eyes, the expression through the forehead. Feel the tongue just fall back. On your next exhale, you're relaxing the muscles in the neck, feeling those shoulders sink toward the mat. Relax that upper body, the arms, the elbows, the fingers. Release any tension in the chest, in the abs, in the glutes, and the hips. Those legs are just opening, not trying to hold any tension in that body. On this next exhale, I want you to feel as if the mat is trying to hold you up and you're giving in, letting everything go. Relaxing the thighs, the knees, the kneecaps are just floating. The shins and the calves, they're relaxed. There's no tension through the ankle. Exhale any tension you have left out through the bottom of the feet, relaxing the toes. Every time you exhale, you're just sinking deeper and deeper. From all that is good in me to all that is good in you. Namaste.